Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea news. I know we've got a match coming up against Ipswich tomorrow, but we'll do the preview for it live early UK time tomorrow. So right now we want to go through some latest news. Quite a few interesting topics to talk about, but most important, ladies and gentlemen, have a look at this particular picture on the screen. Kolo Muani, how do you feel about Kolo Muani? Let me know immediately in the comment section. Lots of news coming up in regards to Kolo Muani, and we're going to try and make some, meaningful conversations out of this. We're going to try and understand this link. Does it make sense? So on and so forth. Before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, take a moment, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. We've got Kolo Muani news, we've got Isak news, and of course, we want to talk about Liverpool and Salah. I mean, they're unstoppable. They're absolutely unstoppable. And you know what? I rather anyone else than Arsenal winning the Premier League. I've got no problems if Liverpool go out there and just win it. Thank you. Thank you for doing us a favor, because it would have absolutely done me. I could not sleep. I would not be able to sleep if Arsenal won the Premier League, and it's good to see that Liverpool's running away with it. Now, first up, breaking: Chelsea won Kolo Muani in January. Contact with PSG is set to start in the coming days. This is coming from Santi Iona, who is very, very reliable when it comes to French news. Let's go through the news before we get too deep into this topic, and some might get a bit upset about this link, some might get excited about this link. So let's go through the news first, and then we'll try and make some sense out of it. Chelsea like Kolo Muani's qualities, his versatility, and the fact he's available. PSG would like a loan plus option. So, okay. Does this link make sense? First of all, do we need a striker? That is a yes, because Nicholas Jackson is the only out-and-out striker for us. And let's be honest, I don't even think he's a proper he's not a well-rounded striker for me, Nicholas Jackson. It just gets somewhere in the back of my mind, it makes me think that Nicholas Jackson is more of maybe a second striker, maybe a little bit of a inside forward, maybe. He doesn't carry the characteristics of a natural striker. I think we can all say that. He's done really well. He's developed well. He definitely is the number one, the striker for us at the moment under Enzo Maresca. He works hard well, and he deserves to start. There's no two ways about that. I'm not taking anything away from Nicholas Jackson from that perspective, but Nicholas Jackson does need competition, stiff competition, stern competition. So from that perspective, we need a striker. Now, is Kolo Muani the right type of striker? In my personal opinion, I've watched Kolo Muani little bits and pieces here and then. I don't follow him on a regular. Obviously saw him in the World Cup and the infamous miss that he had. After that, saw him a little bit on PSG. He's someone, it makes me feel that he will fit Enzo Maresca. He works hard. He presses well. He's got quite a bit of physicality about him. He'll fit into the Premier League, no doubts about that. He's robust. He's a workaholic. Is he a complete finished product up front? I don't think so. I don't think he's any better than Nicholas Jackson. If anything, I think Nicholas Jackson is a better finisher. And we all can say that Nicholas Jackson, one of his weaknesses is probably being a ruthless finisher. Do you know what I mean? We're going to come to the Isak situation in terms of Nicholas Jackson can surely improve in his shooting technique and being far more, I suppose being far more ruthless, being far more in the sense of having that know-how inside the box. That is something that Nicholas Jackson lacks. Kolo Muani, I don't think he's any better. If anything, I think he's someone probably lesser quality than Nicholas Jackson, in my personal opinion, from the little bits and pieces that I saw. So from that perspective, I don't want this link. Now, the other sort of avenue to look at this is, could this potentially be a relationship type of link with PSG? Nkunku is not a striker. Enzo Maresca has said several times Nkunku should be playing where Cole Palmer plays, but because Cole Palmer plays there, there's no spot for Nkunku. Similarly for João Felix as well. So Enzo Maresca has repeatedly said Nkunku is not a striker. So could this possibly be a scenario where Nkunku, potentially could go to PSG French background for Nkunku, PSG, big club in the French Ligue 1. And maybe Luis Enrique could do with a player like Nkunku, where they've got strikers over there, Gonzalo Ramos. Maybe a player like Nkunku just behind Ramos is more beneficial for them. And this is why, he's not really fancying Kolo Muani, and we'll have a look at his stats soon. He doesn't get any minutes over there. So could this be a relationship scenario, relationship type of a transfer link where Nkunku goes there and we also are obliged to take in someone like Kolo Muani? We've seen our owners, our directors do things like that with Leicester, Keenan Dewsbury Hall, with us giving them our academy product, Michael Golding. Also Aston Villa as well. We've given them Ian Martin. We took Omari Kellyman off them. Could this be one of those cases? Don't forget Ziyech, when he wanted to go to PSG, we screwed up with PSG as well. So could this be another one of those where we try and amend things here? So that's something to think about, that maybe it's one of those relationship type of a transfer. Let's have a look at Kolo Muani's stats, ladies and gentlemen. He's 26 years old, so he's just a bit tad over that project age of us where we want players less than 25 years old. So he's 26. He just turned 26. So maybe this just about is the cutoff line. So we'll be fine with that, I suppose. He's still young from that perspective. I mean, look, 26 for me is young. But from the way we look at our project, it's probably not young from that perspective, but maybe it just makes the cutoff. Contract expires 30th of June 2028. So, Kolo Muani still has good part of 3 years left, more than 3 years left in his contract. This is what he's been doing in 2024-25 season, ladies and gentlemen. Liga, 10 matches, 2 goals, 1 assist, only 350 minutes. Champions League 4 matches, only 103 minutes. So he is completely out of favor with Luis Enrique. There's no two ways about that. Let's have a quick look at his last season's performances, see if he did anything last season. Let's have a quick look at that. Centre forward, as you can see, can play on the left side. He can play on the right side as well. Last season, 26 matches in Liga, 6 goals, 5 assists, 1,264 minutes, all up 12 goals and 6 assists in all club competition. Yep, he did arrive from Bundesliga last season. So, look, there's something about this player. I believe there is definitely something there to work on. But is he the kind of striker that we need right now? When we're thinking about players like, I don't know, there's so many good strikers about Isak. We're going to talk about. There's potentials like Liam Delap. There's also Sesko in the market. There's John Duran who's doing well. There's Samuel Omordion. Should we really be looking at someone like Kolo Muani right now? But as I said, could be one of those relationship deals. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, your thoughts about Kolo Muani. How you feel about that? Do you want him in January? Potentially a January transfer. It could mean that one unhappy player, which is Nkunku, goes, and then we're potentially getting another unhappy player with PSG to come in, maybe do something in the Premier League. Now, here's a little bit in regards to Nkunku. Chelsea are happy with their strikers. Nkunku is going to have to swallow up any unhappiness, as Chelsea are not expected to sanction his exit and will be needed if Jackson gets an injury. This is coming from Mailsport. Yeah, look, if we're not going out there and getting Kolo Muani, then of course Nkunku is not going anywhere because, Jackson's our only out-and-out striker. Marc Guiu could be given an opportunity, but he's too young to completely rely upon. I would like to see Marc Guiu get more minutes, to be honest. I feel like there is also definitely something about Marc Guiu as well. So, Nkunku, watch this space in regards to January. I get the feeling he's not enjoying his life at Chelsea Football Club anymore, and he's not completely in the plans of Enzo Maresca. He doesn't fit into Enzo Maresca's philosophy. So I'm sure a player like Nkunku in his prime ages doesn't want to just waste around his time. I'm sure he'd like to move on. So watch this space. I think something could potentially happen. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea are not actively pushing to loan Marc Guiu in January. There was a moment where I was thinking that no, maybe a loan would be good for Marc Guiu, but his recent performances in Conference League makes me think, do you know what? Maybe it's good for him to stick around and keep learning under Enzo Maresca, keep learning under the players that we have. And yeah, keep getting those minutes in the Conference League. It doesn't hurt one bit. And he's doing well from the recent performances. He presses well. He works hard. There's a little bit of technical quality there, which he can definitely improve on. He's a young player. And his anticipation, his awareness is good. There's a lot of other things he can work on. His finishing, in terms of his shooting technique, he can work on. But maybe he gives me that Armando Broja kind of a vibe. So Armando Broja looks like we're gonna cut our ties with him. He's doing very, very well at Everton in recent times. He's just come back from his injury. He looks really fresh. So maybe we're gonna let go of Armando Broja and focus on Marc Guiu. There could be a player there. So once again, maybe I'm not too unhappy about this, that he's not going to go out on loan. Maybe this is the right thing to do. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea were immediately scared off last summer when Newcastle set their price tag of Isak at 150 million. The asking price is around that figure. I mean, 150 million. I put out a comment on Twitter earlier UK time today. Let me know your thoughts. I put out the tweet that could Nicholas Jackson ever be of Isak's level? Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear your comments about it, because for me, Isak is a bit superior to Nicholas Jackson. I feel like his shooting technique is immense. Outside the box, inside the box, his dribbling, I feel like, is a lot more cutthroat than Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson can dribble, but I feel like Isak's dribbling technique is a lot better. And Isak is, in terms of his movement, in terms of his clever runs in the box, far more superior than Nicholas Jackson. And his final third decision making is superior as well. A lot of people don't tend to think that. They rate Nicholas Jackson higher than Isak. I feel like that's probably being a bit disingenuous. But 150 million, ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot of money. And I don't advocate that type of money to be spent on anyone anymore, to be honest, especially with the way our owners and directors that we are operating right now in our financial model. We don't want to do these type of deals anymore unless we can give Newcastle some players. Do you know what I mean? If Newcastle want to take some of our players, then maybe we can look into some trade deals. But 150 million on top of his wages with contract terms, you can only amortize over 5 years now. So it just doesn't make sense, Chelsea, from that perspective. For me, look, fantastic striker. If we get a striker in the ilk of, Isak, then we'll go a long way competing for the Premier League title. But at 150 million, I think that's ridiculous. But this is the level of striker that we need, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. Would you break the bank for Isak? Would you just say, do you know what? Stuff buying all of these other Mickey Mouse players. Let's just go with someone like Isak, and that's it. I think someone like Isak is a bit of a game changer. I would understand that perspective as well. Now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Liverpool. Oh my God, just give them a trophy. Give them the Premier League trophy right now. They are looking in scintillating form. 5-0 whooping of West Ham. West Ham at their own home ground, getting absolutely violated, abused, manhandled. And Mohamed Salah, this guy just continues to be in fine form. Just ridiculous records already. Already both goals and assists in double figures, and we're only halfway through. This guy could seriously break all sorts of records this season. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad Liverpool go out there and win the whole thing. As long as Arsenal don't win anything, we can all laugh at Arsenal. Arne Slot in his first phase, trumping Arteta in his fifth or sixth phase, whatever the case is. And I absolutely love it, man. And these guys, they just look unbelievably strong. Mohamed Salah, in regards to his contract situation, Mo Salah, when asked if there are good news on his contract talks with Liverpool, we are far away from that. He's been quite adamant about how he's giving out his information in regards to his contract extension. He's been quite clear. No, we're nowhere near finding a solution. I don't want to put stuff in the media and people talk about it. There you go. Well, you pretty much have by saying we are far away from it, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Liverpool. How you feel about them running away with it? Do you feel sad? Do you feel happy that Arsenal at least are not winning? Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything, especially in regards to Kolo Muani. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys, God willing, inshallah, for a live stream tomorrow UK time, approximately about 9:45 a.m. for the match preview of Ipswich versus Chelsea. Very, very important game for us. Nottingham Forest, ladies and gentlemen, are second now, so we need to get back our position, which is quite mad. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.